meta. Maybe they're not as strong in this patch or the way teams are laning, but Moon had explosive performances at Frankfurt. That was a big part of why they succeeded. He's been really quiet. I would like to see them find a way to get him back into the game, maybe prioritize his farm a little more. And the other player that helped Moon to get that space was Notel, because a lot of the times he'd be on like a mid gyrocopter, something that comes online very early, so then Miracle could transition to more of the farming role. Notel, last game of the day yesterday, he was on the Sven. He's been actually given more farm priority. I'm not sure that's what OG needs. I think it's almost the opposite.
No, I'm going to bring up two things because I really like the fact that you brought up Moon's Nature's Prophet, because I think that more than anything else illustrates the contrast between the OG we saw in Frankfurt and the OG we're seeing now. I mean, not only did it feel like he was carrying the team, he revolutionized the meta on that hero. Remember, he was the one that pioneered the Aghanim, that kind of little bit cancerous Aghanim's Octarine build on Nature's Prophet. Sorry,
I'm sure there are some angry Bulldog fans right now.
Well, sorry,
he was one of the other big players who was making it successful.
But the other thing being, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me about this team at Shanghai was that Miracle took about 33% of the team farm, total farm at Shanghai. He was the top player in that category, so he took the largest share of his team's farm of any at Shanghai. And then if you look at Notail, relative to the other mid-position players, Notail had only about 20%. He had a little bit lower than most other mid-position players at the tournament. So most of that additional farm that was going to Miracle was coming away from Notail. And I feel like the shift that they're experimenting with at this tournament is a direct response to that.
The only two heroes you can get away with running like high farming mids in this meta right now is OD and as well as Invoker.
Now, why do you think that is? Because mid's so gankable?
Well, yeah, I mean, Shadow Fiend's just going to get pooped on by Earth Spirit all the time. You just get in, like, one shot. I mean, Earth Spirit could solo kill him, for God's sakes. And just the other heroes, that's why you see tempo controllers a lot of the times now. And then the farm priority is going to the off lane, as we talk about. Lone Druid sometimes picked up there. Furion, and then the safe lane, still gets Svens a lot of the time.
I mean, we do see some unorthodox farming mids like the Juggernauts with the PLs, but they're all very survivable. So
yeah,
Death Prophet's got Siphon, Juggernaut is Blade Fury, PL is just basically unkillable if he's very defensive with the Doppelganger or very difficult to kill. So the heroes like Shadow Fiend, stack jungling is not as strong as it used to be. So.
I want to make sure, though, hold on a second, because I want to make sure that we've been talking mostly about OG. And that's, to be fair, is the longer conversation. But I want to make sure that we hit on MVP because I feel like they have some minor adjustments that we really need to talk about.
I mean, if you're here, we can just talk all day. So
exactly.
It's like, what more do you need, guys?
Are you motioning to
I'm getting paid to talk with two friends with Dota, talk about Dota with two friends. You guys can shut up, by the way. I'm sorry. LD, please make your point, though. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
So, I mean, I think for me, like, you mentioned Notel getting less farm. There was a period where he was playing Batrider like every single game on that patch. I felt like it was like Batrider. Teams started banning it against them, and I can't remember exactly the heroes they experimented with, but there was nothing that felt as effective for Notel. Even when he would go safe lane, it would usually be on the Batrider. So I don't know. Maybe they just need to find that hero for him. But to me, I would like to see Notel get active earlier in the game. It just seems like you have to have that player that does it. And especially if they want to run Moon on a Bristleback or Nature's Prophet, something that requires more space, you need Notail to take over that S4 role. Maybe he's not going to be quite as dominant or comfortable in it, but someone's got to take a step back to give him farm. Crit normally takes quite a bit of space on the 4 position. So, or if you're running the Fly Enigma in the jungle, like something's got to give for this team to create space for Miracle and for Moon.
You either have to put Moon on Beastmaster or Batrider or just give Gyro, and he has to rotate immediately for Notail. So
I mean, I'd be okay with both of them on those roles.
Yeah,
like, they were running
that would help a lot.
They were running like the Notail Batrider as well as the Moon Beastmaster, and I think that was when they had some of their most success on the patch, to be honest.
Now, if you look at, I mean, it's quite a step away. If you look at what they did in Frankfurt, they would shift mid and carry back and forth depending on the hero selection. Like Notail, if it was their PL or their Juggernaut at the 1, it was always going to be Notail in the safe lane, and then mid SF, say, in the hands of Miracle. Whereas if it was an Anti-Mage in the safe lane, it was going to be Miracle, and that was very, very effective for them in terms of switching back and forth. It doesn't look like they have those same comfort options in this metagame. And as you guys have brought up already, the mid meta has changed a lot in terms of what heroes are powerful. But let's transition and make sure we talk at least a little bit about MVP.Phoenix, because here we're talking about much finer points, minor adjustments that they can make to try to have success, as LD is giving me the very sexy eyes over here. It's off camera, you guys are missing it. MVP.Phoenix needs to make more minor adjustments.
It just turns me on when you talk about Dota, man.
Oh, I know. You can't help it, right? So what do you think, Rhea? If you're MVP and you're looking at those replays from yesterday, what are you saying, hey, we need to do this a little bit differently in order to have success today?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it earlier too. They just need to put the brakes on sometimes, not get over aggressive, put yourself at a very bad position. Like they kept running their body yesterday at the tier 1 tower when you just hit this obstacle, they can't move it, and then all of a sudden they just die constantly. We saw how the Earth Spirit yesterday just completely destroyed them, and so maybe they should get that for themselves for Dubu. I mean, he's an amazing ES player themselves.
And that's a good piece of information they have going into this match, is they know that OG not only can run Earth Spirit, but can run the Earth Spirit even if Crit's hero has already been picked. We saw that with the IO Earth Spirit yesterday, so that's some nice intelligence they have that Na'Vi did not have going into that OG
Na'Vi
series.
fifth pick. I think Na'Vi fifth pick Earth Spirit, and then OG.
No, OG fifth picked it
it
after already having the IO. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember if they fourth picked it or fifth picked it, but yeah, then Na'Vi fifth picked an Earth Spirit too. It's
At
like
that
crazy.
point in the draft,
it's
you're like,
what?
surely they just don't want Earth Spirit.
Yeah,
or they
right.
would've
It's
taken
what-
it.
what
They're
is-
like, actually, we do want Earth Spirit. I'll take that right now, please. But yeah, I mean, looking at the way, for me, for OG, I feel like it's a little more about strategy and draft. As like yesterday, they looked very unpolished in terms of their play, but I don't think that's really their core issue. For me, yesterday, like MVP primary issue was just execution. Yesterday, they had the game. I think most notably the final game of the day where they had the QO Slark. Individual play was really sloppy, but it was also just like the strategy was not. Like the itemization and the overall game plan as far as what they're actually buying and building for was not in sync with the way they were trying to execute it. He kept on trying to force fights. They had an Invoker who went for a very late Midas as well, and then kept on trying to force fights too. MP felt like he had to come to the support of QO. They just need to get their game plan clear and then execute it. To me, it's less about like, oh, they're picking the wrong heroes or they're getting outdrafted. It's more they're not playing the way that they're itemizing.
Yeah, you saw if he didn't get those 2 kills early on to the Slark, he would have had, I would say, easily, 6K more net worth onto him in the later stages of the game. He was just giving these solo kills to the Darkseer in the off lane, and his Midas was delayed, and then he just kept getting shut down, and they started putting on pressure.
Pounced on the cliff, didn't quite make it
that,
over. I mean, it was just an off game for QO.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure if he was tilted or if he was just feeling overly confident, but I mean, we know he's capable of better, right? So if he plays his A game, I think they actually win that game. I think it does go to a game 3, and quite possibly they beat Vici. So
I don't know. It's a tough counterfactual to talk about because they did not look like they were ready to win that game at any point. And I think as the conversation has gone on here, you guys have mentioned a couple things. For newer fans, okay, I think it's really important when you look at these games. It's not just if you die, it's when those deaths occur. Those Slark deaths were it's very important. They occurred at times when a Slark is supposed to be gaining momentum. He got a solo kill by the Darkseer right before he reached level 6, which is a huge power spike for that hero.
That too.
He got that cliff, unfortunate cliff pounce occurred at a time where he was just getting up to that Midas and his farm was going to start to skyrocket. I mean, as you guys say, though, part of that is the team not playing to the strengths of the builds that they've chosen.
Yeah, it's hard to play that greedy when you're a melee hero against a Darkseer and then you don't get punished. Like, they were like, oh, Yang, he's 0-2. He doesn't know how to play this off lane at all. I'm going to go Midas or something. It does help out a lot when you can, instantly Midas the creep and then the Ion Shell's gone. But, yeah, maybe that wasn't necessarily a thing. Or just have more support or regen in the lane or something along the lines. So I think he'll just look back on it and say, oh, I just screwed up a little bit there in the early game that hurt our later game. And then, yeah, he just didn't have enough items going into that later game. That's what hurt the Slark a lot. If he had, 2 more items, I think they could have took that.
So, Alan, I want to ask you, actually. You mentioned, you feel like there are some tweaks that MVP need to make.
Right.
Do you agree it's just, executing a bit differently, or are there certain strategic changes you want to see for the team?
I actually think you guys have made all the points that I had in mind in that respect.
Great. So we're done here, then.
Ryu mentioned early on the fact that they were a little bit over-aggressive in diving some of those Tier 1 towers early on. I think that's something MVP at Shanghai, at Dota Pit, have gotten very used to playing with a lead. And I think when you're a team that is used to dominating your lanes, those kinds of dives tend to look really bad when you're a little bit more even, right? And you've been used to being ahead. Yeah, I will go ahead and forego my second point because we've got our draft up here. But, yeah, it's a matter, I think, of MVP, largely of execution.
All right, let's see what the teams have in mind. Both teams, great Earth Spirit players, at least 3 in this game.
Yeah, I expect MVP to take out the Invoker.
Both
for
teams
sure.
also run a great IO as well. This is probably the only matchup where I would be very confident about that.
I will be as good as MVP have looked with IO at times. I will be a little bit critical of them and saying there's a much smaller set of things that MVP will do with IO. They're largely an IO bristleback team, whereas OG have shown a lot more flexibility in their combinations with the hero.
I mean, all we do is just ban Invoker OD, and then what does Miracle play? That's like
I think you really have to ban the Invoker. MVP run a good one for MP. I'm not to say he's necessarily.
They banned the Doom. That's the hard counter OD. They just have to ban it here, I think now.
So if you ban Doom, there's an Earth Spirit. For a lot of teams, the Enchantress would come to mind. The Beastmaster's out there.
Still, but
those have been kind of the big first picks when the normal bans come out in this tournament.
I've wrestled with that question myself, though, Ryu. Like, as MVP, I think there's a line of thought where you go ahead and let him take OD because you are an early rotation team anyway, and that hero is so susceptible to that roaming mid.
I mean, specifically Earth Spirit, they can run like a Death Prophet mid. That's a very strong duo to shut it down. They are going to ban the Earth or the Beastmaster.
Yeah, they're going to leave OD on the table. I don't think I think OG could take it here, and just in the interest of giving Miracle a hero he's confident with.
Maybe they think MVP won't pick up the OD too, and they could pick up Earth Spirit themselves now and then pick OD for second. So
what do you think? If you're OG, who do you first pick here? I think I'm leaning toward OD, but Earth Spirit.
It's either OD or Earth Spirit.
Yeah, and likely, assuming MVP responds with an Earth Spirit, quite likely the IO does get through.
Oh,
and they're going to take the IO.
They're going to IO first.
Okay.
So I mean, that was the question mark how much do they value it?
Okay, well, we got the wrong side.
God.
Sorry, guys.
Disaster.
Can't make all the predictions.
That is really, really hard. And MVP.Phoenix, they knew exactly what they were going to get. My, oh, my.
I feel like they would.
They better have a very strong plan.
If they had picked up ES, I think they would have gone IO plus OD too.
Right.
For the mid lane for the Saints.
Exactly.
But I think you'd rather have at least the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, I think you'd rather have at least the Earth Spirit or the OD rather than this IO.
Well, one thing I'll say is that there is the potential with the IO on board, of course, for a dual lane mid, although we've seen a little bit less of that than we have in the past. And so that does limit the Earth Spirit.
That was another one of their go-to mids. That
yes,
it was.
More,
the tiny IO.
You can't do tiny mid against OD
OG
now.
would just get tiny IO, you win a game based on those two picks. But against Earth Spirit OD, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, ES just puts boulder or stone down, pull back, you're silenced with the relocate in. This is such a great hero to counter it out. And I think they have to just pick Miracle Puck mid now.
And you never know for MVP.
Oh my God, you really think they're back that far into a corner?
Yeah,
this
you have
early?
to get either Puck or DP now because the aggression coming out in the mid lane is way too much right now. There's just too much coming from MVP.
You guys both really feel this strongly that
hey,
I'm not going down with this shit.
He's not necessarily.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get you to say. LD is okay. The Bat Rider.
That's cool. That's not.
Yeah.
So we did talk about this quite a bit before the draft started. I think this should likely be the no-tail hero. Could possibly be the Moon hero, but it leaves their options open. And it's a hero that does pretty well in lane. Can go back to the jungle. Can give space to the IO later on. Gives them a very open map to start this game.
They were on board with Bat Rider before just about any other team in his recent resurgence to the meta. I believe OG picked Bat Rider in either 4 or maybe even all 5 of their group phase matches at Shanghai. So and they ran it in both off lane and in the mid position.
And where they started to struggle was when teams recognized just how crucial the Bat pick had been become
and
to
started
them
banning
and started banning it.
Yep.
So
what could you pick up for Moon still? I mean, Tide, as we talked about, is still there.
Actually decent versus OD compared to a lot of the other mids. So could well be the no-tail hero. Could still be a Moon offlaner. We'll just have to wait and see. They have even run it safe lane at times with Miracle on something else mid, but against OD, the number of heroes that can hold their own is fairly limited.
Yeah, I like it mid as well as maybe picking up. What could you pick up for Moon still? I mean, Tide, as we talked about, is still there. Void isn't that bad.
They don't really
but then you won't
Void.
have enough. Yeah, then you won't have enough burst damage potentially, depending on the other picks.
I believe they've run Void at least a couple times in the past.
Yeah, it's not like a go-to pick for them. Oh, MVP.
Darkseer.
This is dirty. Earth Spirit Darkseer.
Okay, now you need Oracle. Well,
yeah, I was just gonna say
you want to complain about Oracle Nahas?
Do you want Oracle IO as your dual support duo though?
But
But the
You
book
have
on
to,
Darkseer,
though, and then
though,
you have
is
to
that
get
you can't pick him
stuns
with Oracle
afterwards.
on the table.
I think you put Oracle Sven now, guys.
See, that
For
that
OG.
just feels like MVP's completely dictating the draft, though. They're getting
They are
Earthspirit,
dictating it
Darkseer.
right now.
They can win the off lane with that duo. They can dominate mid with OD, Earthspirit. Like, these lanes already look so incredibly strong for MVP. Earthspirit can go into the jungle with an Ion Shell. You still don't even know for sure where the OD is going to be. He could still be safely with someone else mid, and they have done that before. MVP's draft feels very solid and still has a lot of options.
I still think OG have a ton of room to maneuver here. I think they can pick a gyrocopter, for example, to deal with the Darkseer fairly effectively.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 100% Oracle right now. You just have to get it. Oracle plus Sven right now. Put No-Tail, like he said, he didn't have a great game last time, but I think Wisp plus Batrider mid, you touched on it, LD, already. Batrider's an amazing hero against the OD as long as he's not having those levels up in the Arcane Ord, taking away all your intelligence. And he's just going to be able to take it to him, especially with the Wisp there. So
They also like to run, historically, they have run a lot of Sven with IO. That was when Miracle was playing more of the hard farmer. And No-Tail was getting less farm at Shanghai.
They've run No-Tail Sven mid as well.
Yeah. So Sven's a possibility.
And this Chaos Knight.
You know, actually, when
that's so bad against OD Arcane Orbs, though.
When Chaos Knight got picked in the final game of that VP Vegas series, like they all freaked out together at once. No-Tail was like, all right. Like they got really excited. So maybe OG saw something there in the Chaos Knight they hadn't properly appreciated till then. This hero does fight a little bit more effectively early on, but yeah, the Illusion's going to have a tough time this game.
Sanity's Eclipse takes it away. I
where
mean,
are
you're
we
against
guys
a
with laning?
Darkseer in the laning. I just like MVP right now.
Maybe they even go. I mean, maybe they
go
mix up the lanes,
aggressive
go
or
aggro
something?
potentially.
Yeah, maybe
Could
they
run a
go
Batrider
aggro.
safe lane still.
But that's to me the question of where we are right now in the draft. Is this CK Wisp dual mid, and Batrider off lane?
Yeah, should have called that.
I mean, what's a
guys.
CKIO going to do against an OD Earth Spirit potentially? Like I don't see them getting.
What's it going to do with an Ember Spirit too? They need like a Bane now to set up Fiend's Grips for relocates.
You
or
pick
something.
you pick an Enchantress, and they do a lot.
Well, then you're basically all in the mid or early game. If you don't get stuff done early game, then you're not going to be able to catch anybody later. Okay.
So that will be Fly's hero, and it's a hero that he's transitioned to playing a little. Actually, no, they've run that on both, but Fly will probably be playing that in this match with
the IO in the game.
Yep.
It should be Crit's hero.
I really like how they didn't pick up the Oracle I was mentioning because they no.
I really like how they didn't do what I said.
No.
Wait, surely you pick Oracle.
I'm going around.
No,
because they pick up the Ember Spirit, and then there's no lockdown for the Ember
Right.
Spirit if you pick these two supports that are very,
No, I agree.
passive.
That it gives them a little bit more of a late game option, I guess. At least they have some catch for
they need some
Ember,
catch
but,
desperately.
But realistically, like I think this is more about the ability to maybe zone a Darkseer with the Shackle. You can actually threaten for a kill as well as you have the wards. Because up until that pick, they really could not take objectives that well. So it gives them some ability to push towers. But I mean, still, to me, the MVP draft just feels more comfortable by far so far. They can win. They can lane it with the Ember Spirit mid, the OD in the safe lane, quite likely. The Earth Spirit can roam wherever he's needed. And
wow.
I mean, they just got the Oracle.
So Batrider going to have a slightly tougher game here. Venge was already banned, so this was probably the best way to deal with the Bat at that point.
Okay, OG.
Yeah.
What do you want to run, either in the mid or the off lane? Time to decide your fate.
We sound so ominous.
Yeah, I mean, we all just all love MVP's draft because you talk about it, it's comfort. All their lanes are super strong right now. They could just basically win every single lane.
I don't know. I have this.
And their late
feeling.
game right now, I mean, you have an Ember and an OD against a Chaos Knight. This Chaos Knight is the worst pick right now in the world.
I mean, forget about the late
game.
game.
You have to win early now.
Their mid game's really strong too. As soon as the Darkseer gets level 4 Ion Shell, Ember gets level 7, Earth Spirit has any kind of levels, they can just run at people. So
all right, guys.
Looks really solid.
Quick picks. Let's get everybody's predictions.
I would be really surprised if MVP doesn't win this. I think they have a huge advantage coming out of the draft. To me, OG basically have to outplay MVP heavily to take this.
He took all my time, MVP.
I'm going to go OG because I think this looks like what they were successful with in the past. With that, let's throw it out to our casters for game one.
Nahaz, I'm Dakota, that's the Green Dream. Fogged, the panel seems to think, at least the majority of the panel seems to think that this is MVP's game with strong lanes and comfort picks. Do you agree with them?
I can agree with the comfort picks and everything, so I would also be siding with MVP.
Whoa. Do you see that countdown timer? Things are getting hype right now. It's
Woo.
OG versus MVP.
go.
I can't believe one of these teams is going to be going home after the first round. You know, MVP, many are considering still a lock for the Manila Major invite, but OG, they need to be getting into like at least a top 3 finish if they still want to be securing that spot. Otherwise, they could be risking to go through the qualifiers with all the rest of the plebs. But here we go, Fogged. Game is underway here. We'll have to see if there's going to be any sort of interesting fisticuffs to lead things out, and it does look like they are going to be putting Moon on the Bat Rider here, so Miracle on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, we have Fly going right away toward top to block, or just to get vision for that top lane.
All right, so nothing too fishy. They're going to be able to kind of secure the offlane position there for Moon a bit. No Tail is going to be taking Rain onto his Chaos Knight. And do you agree with what Ryu was saying on the panel, that this should be a pretty difficult game for the Chaos Knight, and it's all the more pressure for OG to succeed in the early to mid game?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, because they really need to just, he needs to get a lot of kills or something in this early game, because if he falls behind, you know, Arcane Orb is just innately incredibly good versus Illusions. CK doesn't have too much mana, so if he loses too much int, it'll be disastrous as well. Ion Shelled, Ember Spirit, there's a lot of different functions that MVP have to deal with that CK.
CK is going to be, it looked like matched up potentially with Forev, who's going to be playing that Darkseer, but we could see a potential audible call here from MVP, but they also have a pretty strong level 1 fight, so they could be looking for some sort of skirmish. Dubu, though, on his comfortable Earth Spirit grab here, it just can't help but feel like that MVP just got everything they could ask for in this
This is
draft.
going to be a big fight. He already clarity'd up, and he's throwing triple Ion Shell.
Jesus. So the roll could connect here. Miracle steps forward. They're potentially looking to gauge a little bit of flirting here, but no hard commitments yet. MVP will be able to easily secure that top rune there. It looks like MP's actually going to be taking it towards the top lane. That leaves
Aggro
Moon
try.
at the bottom. And yeah, they're totally flipping the script as far as how they're setting up this laning stage. Definitely gives you an idea that OG recognized that, you know, they need to make sure that CK could have a smooth start. And yeah, aggro try all the way up towards the top.
They're switching already. Forev's on his way up. Ember's going to pick up a TP right away and make his way toward the bottom lane.
And once they make this kind of a switch, do you think OG should look to respond, or they'll just kind of stay planted with what the, you know, where things have kind of ended up?
Bat Rider versus Ember Spirit, I think you're pretty happy with that as a Bat Rider in a 1v1.
1v1.
But Oracle is going to make his way down there and make it a bit harder. But it is your safe lane, so you're able to go to your jungle and do a lot of different things.
And as we know, of course, Oracle, with the benefit of that Fortune's End, will be able to easily get rid of any sort of sticky, icky napalm stacks. And Crit has made the rotation towards the bottom to accompany Moon here, so we'll be at least a 2v2 here for now. Mid lane matchup, boom! Oh, they were not able to connect with the rolling boulder, even with the Astral setting it up. A swing and a miss, a rare one at that from Dubu in the mid lane.
Yeah. I like what the responses from both teams. I think it's pretty appropriate.
This kind of goes to show how much they want to make sure they secure this laning phase, even one that's more crucial here for OG from the get-go. We'll have to see. And, you know, for Dubu, didn't even get the Orb of Venom to start things off, it looks like, for his Earth Spirit here. So we'll have to see where he's going to be looking to invest that early chunk of gold in the meantime.
Yeah, it looks like they wanted Febby to start off with that Magic Stick versus the Bat Rider.
Now, with this kind of a start, it does allow No Tail to get a good lead in. He's already at 7 and 6. 6 denies here to lead things off. And as he continues to be accompanied quite a bit here from Fly, you know, he should be able to have an early secured laning phase at this point. But Forev is already going to have the pull camp to work with here. And just if things continue to stay stagnant with where the lanes are fogged, who do you think this benefits more?
I think OG's winning 2 lanes. So I think it's benefiting OG a bit. But at the same time, you're going to have to be dealing with an OD who's going to have basically free farm. And there's an Invis rune in mid.
Yep, it's Febby. They're going to set things up with an Astral. A rotation's already coming in. They're looking to pressure out Miracle, and
he punched. I think he thought maybe it would clip him as well. He wanted to get him right when he got out of the Astral. That was
a bit awkward there. I guess he's trying to time it out and catch the AoE with that Fortune's End, but that is not going to be the case here. And little Febby is going to have to take his business all the way back towards the bottom lane, it would appear here. Dubu has picked up his Orb of Venom and will now plant himself towards this top lane, but this is not going to be an easy lane for this Earth Spirit to kind of get the gank off. And CK can be a pretty big and meaty early gamer, and with Fly kind of hanging as a babysitter
they spotted
behind
him as well.
Yeah.
They spotted him up on in that tree line.
And an Earth Spirit who's not going to be able to kind of partake in sort of any sort of early aggression is a sad Earth Spirit at that. So.
Yeah, Moon's super happy though. Almost level 5 versus a level 4 Ember Spirit. Febby's only level 2. He's gonna have a great game. Calling it right now.
Oh, mid lane here. Crit rotates over with Miracle, and they pursue QO at this point, and even the Fairy Fire is not going to be enough. He shoots him down with a nice catch with the power shot, and it's going to be OG who will strike first.
This is huge, because like I was saying, they're already winning 2 lanes. Now they're going to be winning all 3 lanes. This is a bit questionable for MVP.
All right, Moon eating a little bit of nuking damage here.
He's got stick charges.
Yeah, he's got still 5 to work with on the side, but he'll be happy to salve things up, and he'll square up just fine. We'll allow MP to kind of get back into the grind of farm a bit, but as you said,
I jinxed him. You know,
almost
right when I
did.
say he's going to have a great game, dies, right? That would be terrible.
Caster's Curse is what we call that right there,
Yep.
and it happens far too often, unfortunately. 4-minute rune will pop up, though. Miracle already going to be on the scene here, accompanied by Crit, and Moon's going to pick it up, so both going to be going the way to OG. It looks like MVP just kind of favoring that they want to be able to get up in the lane, but Febby, they don't have vision towards that bottom. Now, had this been a haste rune, it made things a lot easier if Moon wanted to get the opportunity, but he still considers pursuing. We'll get changed up, and that'll be the end of it, but top lane.
Dubu as well going to go down.
Yep, they're going to get the catch up for Ev. Can they get the follow-up for Dubu here? And it looks like they will. Hot start for OG as they lead things at already 3-0.
This is, yeah, very scary. I mean, usually you have your Darkseer, you're like, okay, even though he's off lane, he's going to be getting a decent amount. He's probably level 3 or something at this point, or level 4 even with some farm. He literally has just a soul ring, and he's literally level 3. QO getting pressured a bit in mid. Forces a TP from Dubu, who fills up the bottle for QO. And the power shot gets him!
Man, this guy's Robin Hood right here. Miracle shoots him down.
That is such an uncharacteristic mistake from QO.
I mean, what do you think leads to that? Is he just maybe not warmed up? Is it the, maybe you don't have fresh experience going against the Wind Ranger in the mid lane? We haven't seen that in quite a while. And maybe you just kind of sleep on the fact that she's going to be able to catch you from such a long range with such a huge nuke.
Just not expecting it. Level 5 power shot, I guess.
Moon is level 6. He doesn't level up the lasso, but he is going to take down this mighty side stack here in the top lane, and that will leave No Tail towards the bottom lane. So a bit of a lane shift here for OG. And they make their move, potentially for Forev. They're going to bully back the Darkseer and just kind of take in all that side economy. Moon already with 1K gold, on pace for a nicely timed Blink Dagger at this.
They identified that stack was there. That's the only way that Darkseers are going to catch up in this early game, and he just, they just tell Moon, get up here, take the stack. Good. Perfect. Gets it, buys Arcane Boots.
Wait, Arcane Boots on the bat?
Arcane Boots on the bat.
Interesting.
Looks like they're trying to make a move on No Tail bottom. Flame Guard up, gets the boulder kick.
All right.
He's pretty tanky, though.
Stun is up, but as you said, he's tanky. He already has those power treads, and he is more than fine. He'll be able to step back under the tower right now, and we have still yet to see MVP be able to draw some blood in this matchup here. A little bit concerning. They will be able to grab up what looks like the 6-minute rune, a haste one that QO can bottle up. And in fact, they're going to take their business here towards the bottom lane. See if they can hopefully get a catch here. Fly's been left alone so he can get some solo experience. Even Fly, already level 5 here because of all the kill participation he was a part of in the top lane. Even the support's kind of getting in on the action here.
Yeah, they're really committing a lot to go for this roster.
Uh-oh, well, they might get him. Nice catch with the boulder smash, a rolling boulder, the nuke with the Ether Shock, and finally MVP will be able to get their first kill on just the little Rasta.
Yeah, very needed for QO. But yeah, Moon, how do you feel about those Arcane Boots? I guess maybe it was just an opportunity buy because his Wisp and his Rasta needed mana maybe, and they just did the tether up and got it going. But
yeah, eventually you could turn it into an Aether Lens, which isn't too far-fetched for a Bat Rider after all.
And he's already having such an incredible start. I mean,
yeah.
You see people go for bottle sometimes. I guess that's just a bit of a substitute. Helps out the team more. You don't really...
Ooh. Here comes trouble, OG. The move is going to be made. There's going to be the stun. Crit shows up, and they make quick work of Dubu's Earth Spirit. Not even the chance to get off a stun or anything. Just a quick and easy pick for him, and they accelerate their lead even further. Now 5-1. Take another look here at the CS. No surprise to see Moon with the help of that jungle stack. 41-5. Miracle 37-13. The OD 24, now 25-10. Man, he is really taking it to him.
Completely different team than we saw yesterday coming out from OG. You can see their movements on point, just moving all over the place. They're not
nicely
sitting one lane.
timed. Okay, they get the boulder smash, but he's not going to follow it up with any sort of grip silence, and they'll just have to let that opportunity go here. MVP a swing and a miss as far as any sort of gank attempt on that one.
Yeah. Crit already picking up his urn. Level 5 on him. They're going to have a level 6 relocate soon.
And do you figure once they get that relocate, it's like, let's just go ahead and put it to work, find some offensive opportunities, get some wards in their territory and just try to find any sort of pickoffs?
They could probably just wait for the blink. They can set up for a few kills with Miracle if he finds anybody, but I don't know if they'll rush it until the blink dagger on the Bat Rider.
Which is not going to be too far off. He's just going to go into the jungle to get that finish. He's already got about 1,300 gold, and when you're already sporting arcanes, you know, you're going to have plenty of mana to work with.
Yeah, MVP knowing they need to do something. Like this is going very poorly for them already.
It's not going to go any better. Bottom lane, they made their move for MP, and with one easy rift and setup and help from Crit, they're going to take him down. QO is rotated down for this one. He has the hammer to drop. Is he going to get in for it? Right-clicking down Crit. Fly's going to pop down the wards right now. This could be very scary for MVP. They still continue to make their move as they make the jump. The Sanity Eclipse will go down, and they finally will be able to get the pick off. It's there for Fly, but they're going to lose so much more for it. Potentially, they've already lost QO. They're going to lose Dubu, and it looks like Forev is also going to be going down. Sure, MVP make the rotation to the bottom lane, but they hand so much over to OG. 2 kills specifically for Miracle on this one.
As they're making the rotation, it's just 5 to 10 seconds too late. Moon now actually getting gone on in mid.
Oh,
got a last one.
Relocate
coming in.
Yeah, Crit's going to be here. The paramedic shows up just in time. MP looking to make a hasty retreat. Is going to be able to have the wand, but he can barely move. That stickiness holds him in place. Dubu's going to be able to assist. Gets off a nice stun. Roll forward. Silence. Might be able to get Crit down. Will be able to do so with one more smack. And it's not going to be able to get any sort of follow-up there. It does cost them their Ember Spirit for the whiff takedown.
Man,
still OG getting the better trades.
Oh, no tail. Forev running at him. Is he going to be able to reach him? There's
it.
the roll.
Kick.
The kick.
Got him. That guy's a FIFA player for sure. Pulls it back. They get the vacuum, and one more right click will do it.
That was a big kill. Dubu got a lot of experience from that. He's almost level 6. He's able to pick
Arcanes.
up. He gets his urn instead.
Urns.
Yeah. I thought he was going to go for the Arcanes as well, but.
Can't fault him on that. Need the extra bit of strength, especially if you got your Magnetize coming online here soon. And feeling pretty lucky to get proactive for kills. Those urn charges will build up fast. And it's always nice to have at least some sort of urn on the playing field, whether it's between him or the Oracle when you have the utility of a false promise. Mid lane, good shackle connection here for QO. Crit steps in, Fly hoping to get close enough for a shackle, but they already got the urn off. And well, Febby will be there to assist. Gets off the nice combo to heal him up. And QO will be fine. But my God, OG just pedal to the metal this game already.
So much aggression, beautiful rotations, just a step ahead of MVP, it seems.
It's just, that seems to be the name of the game for the most part in this tournament, with maybe the exception yesterday in the LGD versus Vega matchup. All these games seem to be very go, go, go.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that potentially where we're going to be, or is that just something that might be the meta for this tournament?
Probably where we're going to be. It just seems like this aggression's paying off for most of these teams so far. Looking toward top lane, Fly, smoked up, trying to make his move. They don't have the Blink Dagger just yet, but Relocate is up and ready.
Let's see. They can make the jump. Fly tries to get close enough, but the second they see that Shadow Shaman creeping from the side, he is quick to Remnant back and away, and that's probably the smarter play to go for here. But we got Dubu now. He only has 3 Remnants, but I think 3 should be plenty here if you want to make some work out of this Magnetize. So let's see if MVP could take their first significant team fight here.
Yeah, Q already knows he has to make the rotation toward top. They have to bring 3 or 4 heroes here because even though there's only 2 on the side of OG, you always have to think about that Relocate. Dark's here, bottom lane.
Yep.
Surge is out. Are they going to get it on him? Oh, just out of range.
It's crazy deceptive how far that Rift could get the catch, and good thing for the Darkseer to kind of get that hasty surge away from the trouble. He's still trying to string together the rest of his headdress and build towards that mechanism here. But the wards have now been committed, and it looks like OG are going to be going for their second Tier 1 tower here in the bottom lane.
Moon with his Blink Dagger finished up, and he's level 11. He is very over-leveled. Mid lane, Relocate coming in.
There it is, a jump in as they make their move for QO, and it looks like they'll be able to take down the Obsidian one.
Yeah, Miracle opted for the Blink Dagger. He's just going to be constantly setting up for these kills.
Miracle's certainly stepping his game up. Maybe not satisfied with his performance yesterday. I mean, he's already looking sharp here.
Yeah, he's
game
looking,
1, sharp like a dart.
He's looking really good.
That tower will be going down in the bottom lane, but back at top here, it's MVP who are trying to get their first objective of this game. There's a lot of money on the map for them to pick up, but
rotation's coming in. Blink Dagger on cooldown, 5 seconds. Firefly as well on cooldown still.
Patience from Moon. It's creeping in.
MVP in position for this one. They're bringing the OD top.
Oh, it's starting now. No Tail makes his move. It's a stun onto Oracle. There's the Rift back, and Moon says, "Why? After you get him, let's get this guy." Looking to pull back MP, but Dubu's made his own move, gets off a wonderful stun silence combo, and the Magnetize is on. This could be actually a big fight for MP if they can keep the Ebola out, and it looks like they will. They're quickly going to be taking down, and they lose their Dubu. Turn around Sandy's Eclipse, though. I don't know, MVP. They turn, they 180, looking to retreat back. No tail, very low. Here comes MP, sits out the slide of fist. Crit tries his best to assist his team, but it's not going to be enough. A flame break to push him back and away, but MP continues to go onto a blitz here.
Oh, QO. Tower.
Towers down, QO, forced to step back.
Should be fine.
Crit will still be able to find a side spot.
Oh,
nice
beautiful
shackle connection
shackle.
coming out from Miracle there. Catches MP and earns them the kill. Febby will also be dropped. Almost got crit with that one. Needed one more Purifying Flames, but will not get that opportunity. Serious bloodshed in the top lane there.
Yeah, Miracle blinked into the back of that fight, trying to land a shackle on the OD. Unfortunately, it missed, but then the OD walked forward. Didn't hit. I don't think he actually ended up hitting many people with that Sanity's Eclipse, or he didn't have too much int built up. But a little bit of an overstep by OG, nets MVP a few kills, but then same thing, MVP oversteps their bounds a bit, and Miracle gets a beautiful shackle.
Lots of bloodshed already. 20 kills at the 14-minute mark.
Look at this net worth.
Net worth is all OG as we check it out right now. Near that 7K mark.
Experience is probably
XP is
insane,
also just as dramatic. You can give a lot of that credit to both Moon and Miracle on this one.
Yeah. And Moon's he actually has the Aether Lens as well already. So 14 minutes, Blink, Aether Lens on a Batrider with a Bassi and a stick.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Looking pretty good.
We'll see how much work he's going to be putting. I mean, if you're OG right now, is there any reason to kind of pump the brakes and go back and play the economy game, or do you still want to go here? And I might have to hold that thought here. It looks like MVP are looking to make their move.
They're
they
in
turn the
position
corner,
for this.
trying to make a move on to No Tail. A swing and a miss on the boulder smash. They look to still follow it up. They're going to get the silence, the roll slow.
He's got the relocate if he
Bump
wants
him
it.
back. Are they going to try to go for the save here? They might need it, but Moon does jump in, gets the pullback for Febby. Crit will be able to assist No Tail, keep him alive and well. Febby's going to be forced to pulse out the false promise to keep himself alive. Will decide to step back and away. And now Miracle's the one in trouble, and they will tank him down. That's a good bounty to pick up if you're MVP, and they're looking for more. As they make their move for Moon, Crit will tether it up, and it's actually QO here who's a bit weak and wounded with the urn and with the spirits here. It might be enough to break him down, but they get a good Fate's Edict. Will nerf a bit of the damage. Febby though, gonna get hit with the right click, bump back with a flame break.
The sticky stacks.
The sticks are building up right here. A swing and a miss from Dubu's rolling boulder forward. A 2-for-1 trade at the moment, and Crit still holds his ground. MP trying to fight, gets off the chains, looking to step back and away, gets the assist man. Febby has been putting in overtime right now with his paramedic work at this moment, but Crit will eventually get dropped. Jump back and forth from MP, a bit of a sidestep play here, but eventually it still ends up a 2-for-2. He's gonna lock it down, he's gonna try to right click, can he get fly down in time? One more right click, he's gonna get it. Might lose his own life, but no, Febby still with the Fate's Edict and with the Purifying Flames does his best to keep him alive, but it's not gonna happen in the end.
Coming out here.
Moon might get it, will Miracle take it? No, Moon picks it up, ultra kill for him.
At the same that fight was it's like a 4v4, like just a mess in their jungle going on. Fly didn't even go toward that fight in the beginning. He literally ran all the way to the top lane, dropped his wards, took that tower, TP'd to the bottom fight, and that fight was still going on the entire time. And then he comes in and joins in. Forev, unfortunately, wasn't able to get there, but he was able to finish up his mech while that fight was going on. But still, definitely a great fight for OG. I mean, Moon just picked up this Blink Aether Lens we were just saying, and now he's got a Force F. Level 13.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's the power of the Batrider versus the OD as well. You could see he built up, I think it was like 5 or 6 sticky stacks, and then he flame breaks him, and you take so much damage from that new flame break the way it works with sticky stacks.
I mean, just looking at OG's lineup, this is a team that thrives on these long-winded fights here, and it just shows there in that last team fight.
They didn't have roster wards. Like, he went top and used them there, so it's just
Moon
really nice
is
play.
on the move here. He's got the lasso. Can he get a hog tied up? He's looking for Febby, but they've already made their own smoke play. They're heading south. So OG will try to plant themselves here on the side, looking for an opportunity to make their move
aggressive
for
ward.
MVP, but yeah, actually they might be able to catch Moon here on the way back. Nope, they will just cross paths. 2 ships in the night for this potential gank.
Yeah, both teams put out nice aggressive wards. I think MVP did them during the last engagement.
Unfortunately, 2 wards pretty close together, but they really are maintaining that vision.
Just get shackled up.
MP gonna get hexed up. They
Instantly
quickly
relocates.
Yeah, they're just like, don't even bother. They're gonna get the hell of that opportunity. Do MVP stick around for this though? Sanity's Eclipse is up.
They have a pretty scary team
Only
fight.
one more rock to work with here. Moon jumps in, gets the hog tie, but a quick cancel with the help of the false promise, and now MVP.
Big vacuum.
Huge vacuum wall set up. Fly will try his damnedest. He drops down the wards, and QO begins to go to work. They quickly assault 3 from OG, and Miracle's a man on the run to make it away. Him and Moon will have to retreat. What a hold from MP. Beautiful vacuum wall.
I see what OG was doing trying to get into the fight. They tried to do the simultaneous initiation with the Batrider and the Windrunner. Unfortunately, the Shackle did not latch. They were able to get the false promise as soon as the lasso goes off. And just looking at MVP's lineup, you know their team fight is ridiculous. If you go into a 5v5 team fight and you get vacuumed, like, you know what's going to happen. They have an Earth Spirit, they have a Darkseer, they have their mech finished up. Their team fight is just quite ridiculous right now.
And with this, they'll be able to follow up that good fight with an objective potentially, but as they look for it, a beautiful Shackle will connect on for Febby. They can't quite bring their Oracle down. It's not going to be enough, and MVP could still look to turn this around. Febby fires off the shots. Crit almost going to be brought down. Oh, they'll be able to get the nice shot there for MP. Nicely done from Miracle. Dubu will be able to get the catch. Both Moon and Crit will be going down. No Tail going to get kicked with the stone. He gets taken down the end. Fly going to be able to shackle up Dubu here, but he will roll away. Miracle,
they're going to get Febby, though.
He wants Febby. He gets the blink, he gets the shackle, and, well, between him and Fly, it should be easy pickings there. Every one of these fights just feels like a Royal Rumble there, Fog. 4 for 3 at the end of the day.
38 kills in 19 minutes. I think
It's
this is the most
crazy.
kills we've had, right? This is the
I
most
love
kills we've
it.
had of any games.
It's never like a solo pickoff and we're done. It's everyone is like all hands on deck for most of these fights.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that No-Tail ended up dying there because he's actually starting to fall behind a bit on the net worth.
Yeah.
But it was a good decision of them to fight there because they knew MVP just expended all their ultimates. They don't want to lose any towers. They don't have to. And yeah, they just took the fight. And I thought they would have denied that tower, but I guess they didn't really notice how low it actually got.
So at this moment, Miracle getting closer and closer to finishing out that Agnum Scepter. You already mentioned how No-Tail, because they're being so proactive, it's kind of halted his farm game a little bit here. He's still looking to finish out the Armlet, which is a little past the quota we'd like to see on our CK, but still going to be having it here in due time. And on the other side here for MVP, we touch base with MP, and he's still got the early foundation build up of his drums. Do you think that, I guess he just, skipping over, going for something like the Boots of Travel?
They're fighting.
Go right
They're fighting
for it.
way too much for
Yeah.
bots. And I don't know, MVP's still looking very in this game. We have Febby, he's level 11, so False Promise is going to be up every single time.
Yeah.
60-second cooldown, as well as his Aether Lens finished up.
So, I mean, if you're Moon, it's like, obviously you got to try your best to keep this Oracle in check. And if most of these fights continue as they are, where they almost turn into 4v4, 5v5 situations, does he need to just kind of isolate the Oracle? Otherwise, you risk just losing your lasso altogether.
Either he isolates the Oracle, or when Fly finishes up his Blink Dagger, Fly's going to have to focus on the Oracle. Just get the Blink Hex, just drop even the wards on this Oracle just to hold him down, lock him down, everything they can do.
To the benefit of
Miracle
OG,
as well.
yeah, they have a serious amount of single target lockdown, though.
Yeah.
So that is their benefit. Hey, look at this, a little behind the back play here. Pretty common trade, but MVP will make their move into the Roche pit at the exchange, it looks like, potentially for this tier 2 top, but OG have not really pressing for it too much. She will pull back at this point, and it looks like it could be a pretty free Aegis here for MVP.
Yeah, doesn't seem like they expect this. They're playing very afraid in the top lane.
I mean, we look over their vision, and they do have those very aggressive wards here, but it does leave a lot of the right side of the map pretty much in the dark.
MVP's wards?
Yeah, just
all four of them
right here. It's just
in the
all
enemy
in
jungle.
the OG jungle. Like, this is where we're going to be playing most of the game. So
Yeah.
They will not know really what's happening here at the top lane, but No-Tail here, got to be a little careful.
Yeah, he knows they're down here.
MVP are just going to be content and kind of pressing the issue, and we'll go right for this tier 2. OG will get their own trade, it looks like, at the top. They always have the fallback of a couple of TPs and relocate towards this bottom lane, but I feel like still at this point MVP do have the better 5-man fight. So
Yeah, agreed. All depends on if somebody gets picked off or if they get a 2-man shackle.
and now you have level 2 magnetize even on Dubu at this point. So
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Crit is trying to build up a mechanism that would be a huge perk there for OG, but they still need a little bit of time. Miracle with his DD rune, doing some serious siege work on that tier 3. He's going to get vacuumed back. A long roll from Dubu. Gets a nice silence there from Miracle. Still holds the Boulder Smash. We'll use it right there, but
Relocate.
Crit says, see you later. Pulls him right back to the base.
That Boulder Smash almost hit Crit, while he was relocating.
Man, that would have been unfortunate. Now, Crit will be sacrificed potentially. Yeah, he will be sacrificed.
Splat.
Ember will pick that one up. And, some good damage onto that tier 3 here. Slick save from Crit, though, will prolong the issue a bit. So they pull back a bit. What do you get now if you're Moon? I mean, he's already got his Batrider tool belt, if you will, so early. Aether Lens, Blink, Force Staff.
He might just go for the Boots of Travel. But BKB is a very good purchase this game for everybody on OG.
Miracle
Finds
pops
the
out of his
shackle.
invis, gets a nice connection for
Got him.
MP. Oh! Boulder Smash comes a hair too late to try to get the save. Nice solo pick off there for Miracle, and he makes a quick retreat to make it a hit and run.
Tupu's got to roll up in a second.
I mean, if he rolls, the way an Earth Spear can gap close is ridiculous, so they can get the vision
should
here.
be just fine with this Blink Dagger.
Blinks up north. They didn't spot that. That's
Boots
a
of travel
smart.
on
That
Bat
is
Rider.
a smart call to make. If he had showed himself in the lane, they would have made that kind of jump.
Dubu was like, he's up here, I know it. Gets the boulder up there, but doesn't get him, unfortunately. And now, even more wards placed by OG while they're trying to go for that tier 3 push. They have one in the base.
Feels like almost a mirror match at this point with the way that both these teams are warding and just clashing in all these fights.
Yeah, but this was what OG's been doing right now is perfect because they're just like splitting up MVP. They, like we've been saying, they don't want to take a 5v5, especially when there's an Aegis. And No-Tail's starting to get his momentum called back up. 2,500 gold on him. We see him sitting at number 3 on net worth on the chart.
Is that how OG just, I know it feels like an obvious kind of answer, but is that the way OG have to play this game? Is it because they're kind of pressed for time, or MVP might have a better late game?
I think they just need their BKBs. Once they have their BKBs, fighting is going to be a lot easier for OG. But now this is the worst time for OG to try to take fights. Unless it's a beautiful like pick off or 2-man shackle, something ridiculous. They have MVP has the blink on the Darkseer now, so they have to be extremely careful there in their positioning. And they do see Miracle right now. Do they go for it?
They certainly do. Dubu even connects with the roll. Will
He
Crit
got the
be
wind
around?
run off,
Crit,
though, instantly.
Crit is nearby if necessary. They're going to set up with the Astral. Crit actually eats the Magnetize, getting so close to it.
He's getting him out of
but
there.
he will be able to bail him
BKB
out.
expended on QO as well.
Interesting.
That was Miracle was so quick on his wind run there. He did it instantly as soon as he saw the boulder rolling in. So that's the only reason he lived there.
Ooh, nice little
And
save
Crit
there
gets
from
out.
Miracle. Crit, tethers, makes it away for Ev. Not
Force
looking to let
staff.
him go, but it's going to be too late. Nice save there. Crit makes it away from trouble. And
Teamwork.
MVP. Teamwork.
They have one creep. The single creep, hero creep. Where did that creep even come from? Their creep wave's on the other side. What's going on here?
Well, thank you, Creep.
Yep.
Allows them to get that tier 2.
Based creep.
And they will walk away with a little bit of a purse here. And OG's advantage is not much higher than what it was the last time we checked on it. So MVP have been able to kind of match up on par here. But they're the team that's more in the pursuit while OG continue to just try to evade and hold out. No-Tail now sitting on a good chunk of money since the last time we checked with him, Fogged. He's got 3,300 gold. Do you just go right for more of a tanky build-up item here? I mean, I don't know if Chaos Knight, you want to go right for the heart or a Manta at this point?
I don't know if he wants to go for the BKB. He might have to if they get put in a position where OG or if MVP just starts like running at them more. But he is saving on. He's just hanging on to the gold. They're avoiding fights. If he can go for something else, it's very optimal. But
Get the Reaver here? No, he's just going to keep farming up. Got to get that interest, I guess. He just will be reclaimed, so MVP not going to be able to put it to use.
yeah, very good job by OG just splitting up the map during that. And now, this is a good call by Dubu. He's like they seem to know where we are. You know, too often we need to pick up a gem. We need to get rid of these wards. Need to get rid of their information on the map.
And with that, they'll continue to kind of employ this buddy-buddy system, though, as MVP do make their move down here from the north. BKBs for them also coming together. Greaves already done for your Darkseer. The Battle Fury is on the way for MP, so his farm will continue to accelerate. And Febby picks up his Glimmer Cape, which pretty much makes that false promise like it used to be when it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and Dubu kills 2 wards with his newly acquired gem.
Gets that 100 gold back.
They're setting up for this fight.
Huge value. Bottom lane, though.
Oh, they know Miracle's on the high ground here. They pinged him out.
Are they going to do anything about it, though?
I
Ward's
guess
already
I guess
committed
not.
for the tier 2.
It looks like they were pinging
Unless they're
him.
playing Possum. Look like they pinged it again. We'll see. Miracle will make the jump down, though, and for now, MVP will be able to save their tier 2, but the pressure continues on here from OG.
Yeah, No-Tail goes for the safe play, which I think is what he should be doing, going
Yeah.
for the BKB. You don't want to risk going for like this Manta or this Heart. It's just,
Yeah.
sure, those items are amazing on CK, but if you get caught out and not having a BKB versus the side of MVP, you can just lose the game. Blink Dagger finished up on QO.
Miracle, playing a dangerous game here. Very close to the enemy on this one. MVP float around the neighborhood. What do you do, though? I mean, we talk a lot for what OG needs to get done in this game and how they're farming up at this point, but what about for MVP? They've been trying to find catch opportunities to take advantage of their better team fight, but they're not getting those opportunities. We saw so much bloodshed at the, well, first quarter of this game. Things have definitely slowed down quite a bit since then, and I guess you can give credit to OG for that one. So what do you do at this point when you're MVP and you can't catch an opportunity to take a fight?
They just have to keep shoving the lanes in, try to get more information every time the lanes push in, every time somebody shows. The problem is that they have to remember, like they are remembering as well, that they're playing versus the relocate. Every time that if someone's showing alone, they have to remember that that can happen.
Yep.
And now it looks like lots of rotations coming up. Miracle in position here. Doesn't
Long
catch
chains.
the shackle.
Down below, the shackles are not going to connect. Dubu will hit him with the silence, and
He is
Astral,
Astral, though.
right
They're
on
gonna
top of it. Meanwhile, a TP
relocate
out and
out.
away. No Tail already pieced out. And
Crit is just
that's the third time this game he
every
gets
time.
a wonderful save with the relocate here.
He's got his mech finished up now as well, so he's like, whatever, you guys, I'm dead. But still, they spent 5 heroes, all 5 heroes' time running up there, going for that kill that was going to happen on Miracle, and then just a beautiful bailout by Crit. And now Miracle is, I think, 200 gold from his BKB, which is going to completely prevent him from dying in any of those situations.
Take a moment to look over Forev here. In the meantime, he's picked up the plate mail. It's easy to casually say that potentially a Shiva's is in order, but what do you think about a Lotus Orb in this particular game, going against a Bat Rider, even going against the Windrunner Shackle Shot? Probably one of the easiest abilities to quickly pop out a Lotus and reflect it back. Is that a plausible pickup for him?
Yeah, it could be either for sure.
Even good against the Hex. Quickly could purge it off. We'll have to see if that's going to be an order for him. It looks like Miracle has been able to complete his own BKB now. Picks it up. Shiny Dude 10 seconds to work with. And with that pickup and with No Tail already having his, looks like a smoke could be coming out here. Fly holds it, and here we go. Vape Nation. They're on the move now. Let's see if they could catch an opportunity to take a fight. This is going to be the first time in quite a while we've been seeing OG.
The double core BKB, they're ready to fight here.
Yeah, to pursue a fight here.
Ember Spirit's 150 gold from his Battle Fury here, too.
Oh, and Roche just popped up at that moment, too.
Oh,
MP thirsty to finish off that. Battle Fury could lead to his own
Smoke
demise.
broke. Miracle's ready.
He's moving in. There's the jump. There's the shackle here. Can they cancel it out? And it's not going to be able to get the catch, so he quickly slips away on that back of the Remnant. Sandy's Eclipse wall dropped right in the middle here, and all chaos breaks out at this moment. Moon going to be able to shackle up QO, though that will allow him to get the finish on that with the help of No Tail right-clicking him down. Meanwhile, Forev looking to retreat away, going to get stunned up. The wards continue to go to work. Magnetize is there. Is it going to be a sufficient amount of damage? Not enough to bring anyone down from OG yet. Crit, long jump in. They look to get the pickup here on Dubu as well. Could make it 4, and they will.
Oh,
MP.
and Miracle almost catches MP there, too. He blinks forward, almost gets him. Ultra kill for Miracle. And that's, yeah, like I was saying, once they got their BKBs, they're ready to go. And instead of isolating the Oracle, actually, since he got glimmered away, Fly just was like, whatever, I'm going on this Ember Spirit, and he just jumps in, drops the wards on him, locks him down in the back, and this fight just gets completely split up. You saw Forev blinks in, and he's like, oh, I'm going to get a 2 or 3 man vacuum here. Oh, they have their BKBs. What can we do now? Catches nobody with it just because of the BKBs, and great smoke there by OG again. Great presence of mind coming out from them.
That wasn't even the dream start of a fight for OG, and it still turns out so well for him. And with that fight, allows them to segue right into the Roche pit, and they'll continue their objective gaming. The ball certainly in their court, and they already have a pretty damn good push lineup at this point. So real pressure at MVP.
And you know what? Moon deciding, I shouldn't be playing on top of my CK or my Windrunner. I should be playing the fight in a different position. So instead of going for this safe BKB, he's going for the risky Aghanims, which might pay off.
Yeah. You know, you get the jump on, let's say, the MP Ember Spirit, and if Oracle's waiting behind him trying to save him with the false promise, yeah, I'll get him as well.
Yeah.
Pull it right back and away.
It was good that the Ember didn't die, though. He finishes up his Battle Fury. That was the one good thing for MVP from that fight.
Don't mean to put you on the spot for a mechanical kind of a question here, but with this Darkseer, and let's say he does decide to go for the Lotus Orb, and he gets connected with the Agnum's Lasso. Does it reflect back the Agnum's Lasso, or because he does not have an Agnum's, it's not Agnum's Lasso
He would need
reflection?
his own Agnums.
Okay, that's
to
what
reflect,
I figured.
Yeah. It's
That's what
like
I
the
figured.
Juggernaut thing. Like if you have
Yeah.
your own Aghanims
Yeah,
and Juggernaut Omnis you do the extra slashes with the Lotus Orb,
All
which
right.
is like some weird mechanic stuff. Fly, getting caught out
Okay,
here.
QO commits
Crit
with
as
the
well.
BKB, a swing and a miss on Dubu with his rolling boulder, but they're still going to be able to get the finish, it looks like, here for Crit, and they'll get Fly. Both supports go down. Miracle, though, says, I want redemption. Pops his own BKB, going to be able to get the shackle here for MP, but MP going to be forced away from the trouble. 4F goes in. Vacuum here, looking to go for No Tail. No Tail caught right in the middle, stunned up, locked down, and he's trying to make a hasty retreat. Two buybacks come out from both supports from OG. They're looking to try to turn this fight around. Can they do it
Febby's
here?
on the high ground.
Febby stuck up and above here, going to get shot. There's the power shot coming in from Miracle, a monster kill for him, and they'll get the finish. A double kill for him, a stun that's flying out into another dimension elsewhere as MVP will lose 3.
This is the Miracle we know. This is the Miracle we know and love.
I don't know what Miracle was here yesterday, but this Miracle has came to play. And another profitable trade. It will cost OG 2 buybacks for it, but it still just puts him in such a strong standing.
That Aghanims pays off right there. He gets the double lasso.
Yep.
And they had to expend Fly's buyback, and the Wisp buyback, but either way, you know, it's just the 2 supports. They end up wiping 3 people from the side of MVP. Not the 3 cores, unfortunately, but they do get the OD, they do get the Darkseer.
Yeah.
They lose the Aegis, but that's a good use of your Aegis.
But top 3 net worth all belong to OG, with Miracle sitting at the top 16K. The next closest for MVP is actually their Darkseer at 12K at this point.
Oh, No Tail almost was able to get him in range.
No Tail has picked up a ultimate orb at this point, probably going for that Manta.
Pings everywhere. Ping, 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 ping.
Sharks in the water now. OG just swimming around for any sort of catch opportunity, just taking control of the map at this point.
So, okay, yeah, in that last engagement, or in the second to last engagement, he took the gem from the Earth Spirit. I forgot to point that one out, yeah.
So all of the vision going their way. We look at MVP, and they're in the dark at this point.
We're going to have a Daedalus coming out on Miracle very soon.
They see QO coming this way, and I think OG, I was going to say, don't really need to shy away from a fight, but it does look like No Tail will make the rotation all the way back towards the bottom lane here to kind of keep this push back that is kind of coming their way. I mean, they could definitely afford the time in this game, and he even gets another D ward here, does Moon.
Yeah, No Tail looks like he's going to be going for that Manta style. He has an ulti orb picked up.
More horsemen, I say.
Yep.
Oh, QO, yeah. Oh, Miracle. Astral, and that does mean that the stun will not connect from the boulder smash, but Crit's here. That means there's not going to be any sort of easy kill and just as fast.
Blink, Shackle,
step
BKB's
away.
right away, but he's got so much damage now.
Yeah, and he's going to be forced to Astral. They'll step up a bit. Moon jumps in, gets the lasso there for Dubu.
Now the Shackle latches.
Yeah, and Miracle begins to just go and focus fire him down. There is going to be a false promise to try to keep him alive here, but on the other side, gets Sandy's Eclipse off. Helps a bit, but Miracle looks to finish off what he had started, but that false promise does bring him back to full life here. Already 2 going to be going down. No Tail with the double kill on this one. And OG quickly sweep through 4.
Shackle.
Let's make it 5. It's a 5-man wipe, and it is a triple kill for No Tail. 35-20. OG
just playing this game exactly how they should be. You know, recognizing we don't want to take fights to our BKBs as soon as they get them, taking as many fights as possible, and it's working out perfectly in their favor.
And even with them already being so farmed ahead, that fight still awards them a 5,100 net worth swing. The rich get richer.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at this rich career. We've got a Daedalus finished up. We've got a...
Oh, there was a sale somewhere.
He's going for Eye of Scotty instead of the Manta style on the Chaos Knight.
That's fun. Very stat heavy here, but hey, you need the extra intel, I guess, going against an OD after all.
I mean, at this point, I think it's either one is going to win them the game. Yeah. As long as they don't make a drastic mistake, this looks pretty closed out for OG.
Miracle begins his siege here from the low ground now, and I believe they still do hold that Aegis here. Oh no, they don't. So don't have the benefit of the extra life. And here comes the return of
Miracle
MVP.
has another DD.
No wall available yet. Still needs about another 10 seconds before it will be up. Miracle free to kind of do this work from the low ground with so much help behind him. And that will be a tier 3. First base work of the game. Going to be going the way of OG on this one. And they even have a lineup that is so great for sieging the high ground. I mean, when you have this very far Bat Rider.
Fake back with the smoke. Let's see if they catch anybody with it. QO. Oh, I guess they didn't expect anybody to actually show. They just ended up like nuking out the wave rather than going for anything.
Still kind of hide back in the dark. MP trying to just farm out in the meantime away from his base.
Flies on the prowl.
Yeah, he is. He gets the spot. Him and Moon could move over and make the catch here for this
If
Ember
he
Spirit.
catches him, they've got the relocate. He has more than enough disable.
And he does not have a buyback. He does not have a
Oh, the
buyback.
creep zone.
He's gone. Right back into the base here. My goodness. Well, we'll see now.
Oh, Moon being extremely efficient right now. Picks up the Arcane Rune, bots back to the base. He's just like, I got to push this top lane out, guys. And his bots are going to be up in about 10 seconds, so they're able to take the fight pretty soon.
MVP outside their baseline here. Hanging by their secret
Got
shop.
the Shivas.
Oh, he did go over the Shivas. All right.
Don't
Does
think
help
it's
a
going to
bit.
be enough, though. Miracle has a DD with his Daedalus, too.
Yeah, he's got a hurt Larker waiting to put out here.
Unfortunately, it automatically popped because of the timer, because, you know, if he popped his BKB, it's going to be removed.
That's
But
true.
either way, he's going to just walk up,
Ow, ow, ow.
kill the range tracks in
my
5
God.
hits or 6 hits.
Was that a
and then
Rax
just-
or a house of cards there? Just immediately falls over. And we'll get the chains here, but they do not want to get too hasty for this one. The second they step out the front door, that's when OG strike. No Tail makes his move. They look to isolate for Ev, and he is quickly taken out of the equation. Because he commit for that Shivas, he does not have a buyback to work with here. And your Darkseer is probably one of your biggest key elements for a high ground defense.
Yeah.
Looks like OG have just easily claimed up potentially their Rax in the mid lane, and could even follow up with a second one here if they can get a bit more from this fight. Miracle. QO jumps in. They both pop their BKBs. He begins
Oh
to go
my
toe-to-toe,
God.
and he's just doing so much work. QO going to be safe for the meantime with a false promise, but eventually his days will be
lasso
numbered.
again.
Double lasso pullback from OG, and that will be the game.
There we go.
That's the OG we know.
40-20.
Dank.
Quite dank.
Wow. That's the OG that a lot of people have been waiting to see here.
What did Miracle end with in this game? There we go, 17-1. Moon as well. At least I said it. Moon's going to have a great game.
Yeah.
Their lanes just were perfect. They reacted it. They just kept moving around constantly, and they just were, like we were saying, one step ahead of MVP.
Whoa. Miracle's Wind Ranger, 17-1-13. Moon's Bat Rider, 10-1-12. My goodness.
You could see the difference, like,
Yeah.
so heavily. Their teamwork, just everybody all together was, you could tell they were communicating, they had a plan, and they executed it.
MVP obviously a bit miffed by this. This will be their third straight loss here for Star Ladder. And match point already from being completely eliminated from the tournament. And now we got to see what they're going to be doing to kind of change things up a bit. And if you're OG, I imagine that this is just a huge boost of confidence for them.
Absolutely.
So how do you think that MVP might need to consider approaching this for game number 2 to try to change things up? I mean, it's not like OG really had too many comfort picks. Like, yeah, you can maybe say Wisp is a comfort pick for them, but this was very different from what we saw from them in all their other games. So,
Well, I mean, I was wrong, so. Did you say OG?
no.
No?
Nahaz did, though.
Nahaz did. All right, Nahaz was right.
Good for him. All right, and with that said, we'll go ahead and just hear what the panel has to say about that exciting game number 1. We'll throw it to a mini break, and when we come back, it's going to be over to the experts.
E-gaming